All right, guys, welcome into the Fantasy Sports Talk Show. I'm your host, Jesse. Listen, it's been a while. Been out sick. Everybody kind of got the bug here over the last changing of the guard of the seasons into the winter season. Listen, I know it's been a while, but we're just going to recap. We're not going to get in too much in depth in things. We're going to just go over everything, lay out the status of the league and what the playoffs might look like. So, all right, guys, let's go. So far this season, there's been a lot of good matchups. It's crazy to look at the league right now. Literally everyone is still in the playoffs. I think you got Joe Mama, RT's Kryptonite, Jesse's Kryptonite, have all secured playoff spots. The last three kind of still up in the air. Foggy Toast has got a lock on the 4 spots at the record of 6-6. But if you look down below that, I mean, Can't Get Right, Blind Squirrel, I Love Boobies, all 3 of those are at 5-7. Any of those spots can switch. And then below that, you still got Fun Bags, Big Time Sean, and the Ton. It's at 4-8. I mean, it's crazy. Everybody is still in the playoff hunt. No one is completely out of it. This should get exciting. The next couple of weeks are going to be exciting to watch and see who actually makes their moves into the playoff picture. So we're just going to get into it. Listen, it's been a crazy couple of weeks. Joe Mama, of course, has a nice grip on that first spot, having some good luck, even with Cooper Kupp going down. It's crazy to look at that top 3 because number 1 can't beat number 2, and number 2 can't beat number 3. Unbelievable. I mean, it's I don't know what else to say about this season. The season's been crazy. A lot of changes, a lot of things going wrong. This was not the year for the running backs, as everybody knows. It really got interesting here at the end of the year. So let's dive deep. We're going to look down at some news and notes, some breakdowns, some injury updates. Looks like Jalen Warren told reporters that his hamstring is good to go and expects to play this Sunday versus the Falcons. That should be interesting with Najee Harris. You don't know what's going on with him. He of course, did not finish that Monday night game with an abdominal injury. So we'll see how that goes. Dallas Goedert looking to come back for the Eagles. Justin Fields, a big question because, man, he's been hot over the last 4 weeks. Now looks like limited in practice this Wednesday. Keep a close eye. If you're Justin Fields manager, keep a close eye on that one. We don't know what's going on with that. Raheem Mostert, ever since Jeff Wilson's come to Miami, he has kind of taken over that role as the number 1 running back. But it looks like Raheem Mostert will play against the 49ers this upcoming week. So that should be an interesting matchup. It's basically the old Niners backfield versus the new Niners backfield. Of course, Elijah Mitchell being out, they've placed him on IR. It looks like his season is done. Terrible for this kid because this kid was he was dominant. I think he was averaging like 6 yards a carry since coming back from the original IR injury. Now let's see if McCaffrey can carry the show and who is going to play that next role. Will it be Tevin Coleman? Will it be Davis Price? Will it be Mason? I don't think Mason's in there. I think Mason's more of a special teams guy, but we'll see what happens. Travis Etienne, of course, injured his foot. Did not help me last week in my matchup against Blind Squirrel. Luckily enough, I pulled out the W in that one because, Blind Squirrel kept Garrett Wilson on the bench. Thank you, Ray. Appreciate that. Nicely done, my man. Appreciate the help. Looks like the Jets found their second running back, and it is not who we thought it was going to be. Looks like Knight is going to have a role in this Jets backfield. Remember, they had traded earlier in the year for Robinson, and that just did not seem to work out. So it's going to be curious. Aaron Rodgers says he's planning on playing this week. Man, that guy's just confusing. Sometimes I don't know what that guy's talking about anymore. I like the question that he got during the press conference after the game, and one of the reporters asked him, "All right, where do you guys go from here?" And the only response was, "Home." I mean, really? Come on, man. You took that literally? Like, where are you going after this? Like, come on. So, curious to see. A lot of things happening tonight. Damian Harris, of course, for the Patriots, dealing with a thigh injury. He is not expected to play tomorrow night. Of course, another big injury to the Rams. This team, I think, is just packing in and is done. Aaron Donald now dealing with an ankle sprain. I don't think. I think maybe they shut him down for the rest of the year. I think they shut down Matt Stafford for the rest of the year. I mean, you're already out. Cooper Kupp's done. Allen Robinson is done. That backfield, you don't even know who's going to be running the ball anymore. It's going to be curious. So those are some of just the news. Any breakdowns that we missed there, I apologize. We're just going to dive right down deep into it. All right, guys, like I said, listen, been out for a while, missed a few weeks. I'm not going to go over all the weeks. We'll just recap last week and just some of the players that were highlights. Jalen Hurts had big numbers, 35 points. Josh Jacobs. Holy smokes. The man had 300 scrimmage yards by himself. There's teams that don't even get that on a weekly basis. That's crazy. 62 points for Josh Jacobs in last week's game. Craziness. I know that hurt. Can't get right. Foggy was loving that, of course. Moves him into that fourth spot. Christian Watson has been huge. Nice pickup by Big Sean. I know a lot of us looked at it. We're kind of curious. Wanted to wait. Sean hopped on that. Nicely done. Nice pickup for Sean. Listen, Trevor Lawrence is slowly having quietly having a great year. And Garrett Wilson had a big week. But those guys were all on people's benches. So sorry didn't get any of those great point totals from those guys. Looks like the best team of the week, high scoring team of the week was Fun Bags. Nicely done, Fun Bags. Way to come back. I mean, you were on the bottom of that standings there for a while. You've slowly and quietly started to get that team going, and it looks good, man. You look dangerous to match up. Got a shot at the playoffs. Keep trucking. The Toilet Bowl Award winner goes to Team Natan. Man, 110 points on the week. Low-scoring team. Sorry, buddy, but welcome to the Toilet Bowl Award this week. As the standings sit, like I said, Joe Mama sits at number 1 at 10-2. Archie's Kryptonite is at 9-3. Jesse's Kryptonite is at 8-4. Foggy Toast sits at 6-6. Can't Get Right, Blind Squirrel, and Boobies sit 5, 6, and 7 at 5-7. And then Fun Bags, Sucker My DK, and Team Natan sit at 8, 9, and 10, all with a 4-8 record. Everybody's still in it. You got 2 weeks left, guys. 4 can fall out of this with some key wins from Can't Get Right, Blind Squirrel, and Boobies. Some losses by Foggy. I think he gets in. I think everybody's battling for those last 2 spots. Can't Get Right, Blind Squirrel looks strong. Remember, we were worried about his team when that team got healthy. That team is now healthy. Very dangerous team. He has lost 3 in a row after starting out 0-4, then had a 5-game win streak. And now he's lost 3 in a row. So hopefully a get right matchup this week for Blind Squirrel to make a playoff push. I just love the fact how Sucker My DK just keeps wanting the season to be over, and he just can't get out of it. So listen, pick up the transaction, guys. I will break down and send out a message over the league. I'll break down everybody's transactions for the year so far. The totals, and I'll get that over the league chat this week. I won't be doing that in the show. I haven't had time to look at it. But just wanted to go over some of those players. And like I said, those Jalen Hurts, quarterback of the week. Jacobs, of course, was the running back of the week. I mean, Jesus. People were so out on Jacobs. And, of course, Christian Watson was the receiver of the week with a big game. Thankfully, Jordan Love came in that game and saved his. All right, guys, we're going to look at next week's matchups. Looks like Big Time Sean at 4-8 does have a tough draw with Joe Mama. That's going to be an interesting matchup. Let's take a look at the details on that. It's going to be interesting. I'm looking at the matchups here. Jamar Chase is the big question mark that I see on this list. He's questionable. How effective is he going to be? Other than that, I don't see a whole lot going on either side. You're just almost hoping Jeff Wilson for Big Time Sean keeps coming through. The quarterback matchups. Justin Fields is another question mark I'm seeing on RT's team. It should be interesting. I think Nick Chubb is going to have a big game against Houston's defense, just usually because people who play against Houston usually tend to break out to a decent lead and just run the ball. Who knows? Maybe you get some Kareem Hunt action in there by just by pure point lead in that game. But other than that, I mean, this should be interesting. You got Josh Allen going against New England's defense. It should be a decent game. It's going to be windy. I don't know about the weather out there. Should be an interesting matchup to watch. But looks like going into this, Joe Mama is about a 7-point favorite. So let's see if Big Time Sean, sucking my DK, can keep his playoff hopes alive. Because after that, the matchups get interesting. Next matchup, we got Blind Squirrel versus Boobies. Here it is, the 5-7 versus 5-7 matchup. Who's going to take a slight lead in this matchup to really grasp a hold of one of those playoff spots? It's going to be interesting. I'm looking at the rosters now, and quarterback play is going to be huge because it's a good matchup for Marcus Mariota on Booby side. Playing Pittsburgh, you know how much Atlanta loves it to run the ball. No Kyle Pitts any longer with Atlanta. He is out for the season on IR. Big question marks, though, on Booby's side. He's got Gibson and Najee Harris at running back, and then he's got Juju Smith-Schuster going. Of course, they're all questionable for next week's matchup. There are some players he can put in. He does have Leonard Fournette. He's also questionable against New Orleans. Not a favorable matchup for running backs. And then he has Chase Claypool down there on the bottom. He is questionable for the Bears, but of course you don't know if Justin Fields is going to play. That should be an interesting matchup. Blind Squirrels had to kind of pivot. He kind of got stuck with the Matt Stafford issue this year. Matt Stafford really did nothing. He's got Daniel Jones and Derek Carr going. Decent matchups as Jones plays Washington and Carr plays the Chargers. Of course, he's got the Yeti going, and it is snowing. It is that time of year, guys. So we'll see what he gets back. He's got Keenan Allen back healthy. Looks like they're getting him more and more involved in the offense. Brandon Ayuk. What a good mid-season pickup by Blind Squirrel. He's been a red zone target for Jimmy Garoppolo in that offense. And, of course, he's got Garrett Wilson playing in a flex position. Thankfully, he kept him on the bench last week. Appreciate that move, but he got me that W. He does have Chris Godwin. I love Chris Godwin in this matchup against New Orleans. I think he has a big game. And, of course, he's got Justin Tucker as his kicker. So you can always count on possible 60-yard field goals from Blind Squirrel's team there. All right, next matchup, we're going to look at Foggy Toast versus Fun Bags. This one is a must-win for Fun Bags, and he's been on a hot streak lately. He's got 2 wins in a row coming into this matchup. Needs the W to keep his playoff hopes alive. He does have Dak Prescott and Aaron Rodgers going. So he did pick up the Dak Prescott after the move by RT is dropping him to pick up a fill spot for his roster. Dak Prescott's look good. He is playing Indianapolis, though. Indianapolis does not give up a lot of leeway to the receivers in the passing game. So it should be interesting. He's got Aaron Rodgers going. Of course, he can't pivot to Kyler Murray, who's been hot lately. Team has not been hot, but Kyler Murray's look good. He's kind of come back, starting to run the ball a little bit more, but unfortunately he is on bye week, so he is not at Fun Bag's disposal, so it looks like he will have to go with Aaron Rodgers and hope for the best. I do like his matchups better going into this week, especially with Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jamal Williams. They're playing Jacksonville this week. He's got them both going. Should be a good matchup. On the other side, Foggy, you got some tough matchups this week, buddy. Lamar Jackson going up against Denver. That's always a tough matchup, especially for quarterbacks. And then you got Kirk Cousins going against the Jets. The Jets are the best. I believe the Jets are the best ranked defense against opposing quarterbacks this year. The Jets defenses look good. So this should be a tough matchup for Foggy. Of course, he's got Dalvin Cook going against that same Jets defense. Tyreek Hill, of course, is questionable going against the 49ers. I think that that matchup could be tough, especially if it does come down to being a weather game. And it looks like it's possibly going to be raining in San Francisco on Sunday. So that should be interesting. I think they're going to see a little bit more ground game. If you are going to get Tyreek Hill involved, I think it's going to be in crossing patterns with Jalen Waddle. So one of those two could have a big game. And of course, he's got the big question, Josh Jacobs, who doesn't plan on practicing much this week with his injury. So we'll see how that goes. He's got the Dark Wizard on the bench. He who remains nameless. I'm not saying his name. That guy's a piece of work. So I think another podcast I listen to, they call him Voldemort. He's just that guy that nobody wants to talk about. So it's going to be a tough matchup. Fun Bags, of course, is the underdog by, literally 0.18. It's not even a point underdog. So it's a pretty good matchup. It's going to be a good game to watch. I think that matchup's going to be interesting to keep a close eye on. All right, next matchup we're going to look at RT's Kryptonite versus Can't Get Right. Listen, this is me versus Lee here. This should be interesting because Lee needs the win. He's dropped 2 in a row. He's now at 5-7. He started off the year hot, and it's just come tumbling down. And I like my chances this week. I am favored by about 12 points, just a little over 12 points. He's got some tough matchups this week. He's got some tough matchups. Pittman going against Dallas. Dallas defense, with that pass rush. Matt Ryan does not like a pass rush. He's not mobile. Not going to get out there. You got Diggs going against New England's defense on Thursday night. Should be a windy game, it looks like. And you know how Patriots play defense. They want to take away your number one weapon, and that would be Diggs. CeeDee Lamb's going against the Colts defense. Colts defense is no joke. They're pretty good. They do have some banged up secondary people, so maybe that does open up some windows. He's got Mark Andrews going against Denver's defense, another tough matchup. Jonathan Taylor against Dallas' defense, another tough matchup. Should be interesting. I like my matchups better than I do his. I do have some tough ones. Of course, I got Ramondre Stevenson going against Buffalo's defense. White going against New Orleans defense. Even though New Orleans, I don't know. I think they've kind of packed it in this year and talked about it being a loss year. And I've got Jefferson going against the Jets. That's a tough matchup, especially that Jets defense. That Jets defense is playing great. Sauce Gardner, I'm sure, is going to be all over Justin Jefferson. Should be a great matchup to watch. But I do like I like T. Higgins going up against KC. I think he could have a decent game. Jalen Hurts going up against Tennessee's defense. Brady, Jesus, will you just get in the end zone? Man, he puts up solid days, and his numbers are solid. He just can't get any TD passes. It's crazy. Christian Kirk going against Detroit. You always know my outlook. You got somebody playing against Detroit, I'm throwing him in the lineup. They've got a good chance to score, especially in Detroit, because Detroit's offense plays way better at home as well. So this should be a high-scoring affair. I believe if you got anybody starting for Jacksonville or Detroit, you got to throw them in the lineup. Questions, I've got Joe Mixon questionable, Travis Etienne questionable, waiting to see more on top of what they're going to do. Maybe alter some lineup changes there, maybe make some moves. Unsure there. He's got Mostert on his bench, Michael Carter. Both of those guys are questionable. So you could see some roster moves between now and Sunday. But I, at this point, am a 12-point favorite. So, Can't Get Right. Bring it on, buddy. Come on, Lee. Next matchup we're going to talk about Jesse's Kryptonite versus Team Natan, a.k.a. the new bye week. Because how's that Christian McCaffrey trade working out for you, buddy? Aren't you glad you just gave up Patrick Mahomes for Christian McCaffrey? Jesus, how bad is that? And, of course, McCaffrey is questionable. Not practicing as of Wednesday. McCaffrey said he just felt something. Well, not a good report coming out of San Francisco about Christian McCaffrey. Natan's got Tyler Heineke and Jimmy Garoppolo. One thing that he does going for him is Mahomes, Tua, Barkley, all have very tough matchups this week. He's got to capitalize. He does have Jalen Waddle going. He does have Terry McLaurin going. He's got that hookup between Heineke and McLaurin. Heineke's always going to hyper-target McLaurin. That's just what he does. David Montgomery going against Green Bay, but on the flip side, Asian Sensation does have Travis Kelce going. Asian Sensation is betting on Kyren Williams being the running back there in L.A. Not a bad choice. Who knows? He will catch the passes, so that's always a good outcome. As of right now, it looks like Asian is about a 10-point favorite going into this matchup. Team Natan needs the W to keep his playoff hopes alive. He's sitting there at 4-8. Both teams lost last week, so both of them looking to get the ship right. Of course, like I said, Asian has the 10-point favorite going into the week. Listen, playoffs approaching, guys. 2 weeks. That's all we got. Well, as my counter says right now, we got 13 days. 13 days until the playoffs start. So get your rosters in order. And like I said, I'll put out what the transactions look like for the total for the year. I will come back here with the Jace jaw-dropping picks of the week here later. I'll sit down with Jace once he gets out of school. We'll go through that, and we'll make our selections for the week. So, stay tuned for Jace's jaw-dropping picks. All right, and now we're back for Jace's jaw-dropping picks. All right, Jace, first matchup, which one do you like? Do you like Daddy's team or Rook?
Daddy's team.
You like Daddy's team?
Yeah.
I like it. High five. All right.
Yay.
All right. Next one. Do we like Asian or Nathan?
Asian.
All right. He takes Asian to win the game. Okay. Next matchup. Do you like Blind Squirrel or Boobies?
Boobies.
He likes the boobies. He's Daddy's boy. All right. Next matchup. Do you like Big Sean or Joe Mama?
Joe Mama.
All right. He is picking stellar winners today. Let's see. Do you like Foggy or Fun Bags?
Fun bag.
All right, guys. There you have it. You have Jace's jaw-dropping picks. Did you have a great day?
Yeah.
Yeah. Have fun at school?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Do a lot of things? Do you have fun with your friends?
Yeah. Yeah. I was stopped to do.
Yeah. Did you have
I
homework?
have school to again.
Yeah. Tomorrow?
Yeah.
Yeah. But you play with Daddy today?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did we play games?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Say good luck, everybody.
Good luck, everybody.
See you next time.
See you next time.
All right, guys.
I wanna do it.
Hold on. Okay, hold on. All right, guys. That's all we got for the time for today. We'll see you guys next time on the show.